for Celeste, featuring TGH and YoshiPro.
All right, so since they won't be mic'd up, we're going to start with the couch roll call. I'm SexRex. I sniped the speedrun.com leaderboards for this game when it came out, and they've been dealing with my bad decisions ever since.
I'm Devil Squirrel. I've been tasking this game.
I'm Matt. I'm the designer of Celeste, and I just want to say that your donation messages are making me cry over here.
I'm Noel. I also made Celeste. All that programming.
Yeah? Oh,
there it is.
Power up audio. Thank you very much. Jeez, the irony. Yeah, this moment was kind of doubling as a microphone test because this setup isn't really supposed to happen.
No.
This is a very Mickey Mouse kind of maneuver to allow me to be here, so thank you, Couch. I also helped make Celeste. I was along for the ride with these guys, so thanks, Matt and Noel. Thank you.
Two things.
Okay, so, and I mean, really, more importantly, why we're all here is the last I checked, we had 402 any percent ranks for Celeste on speedrun.com. It's that, yeah, it's nuts. That was checked today. And this is rank 1 TGH. And yes, of over 400 ranks, rank 2, YoshiPro, YP. So before we get too far into it, once this race begins, this game goes quick, and there's not a whole lot of time to talk about the basics. Yeah. So perhaps I'll throw it to Matt to just talk about some of the design choices regarding speedrunning this game in the first place, like developing it for speedrunning.
Do you mind if I make an announcement?
Oh, sure.
Well, first off, we have a donation from Power Up Audio for $1,000. Hey, SGDQ. Pleasure to be here yet again. Whether you're a viewer at home or attendee here on site, a world record holder, or brand new to the scene, a human, or a shark, you should all be very proud of what you accomplish together each year at SGDQ. Let's break 2 mil.
Yeah.
I also have another announcement, and that is we have broken $700,000.
Nice. Amazing. Are we good? Cool. Yeah, I guess to introduce the game a bit.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, to introduce the game a bit. So this game has no RNG. Every room is deterministic. And it's just based on movement, basically. And the player speed is uncapped as well, so there's going to be a lot of creative use of dashing to maintain momentum. You keep your momentum faster in the air, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And as well, skippable cutscenes.
Yeah.
Yay!
Very important. I think that's probably it. So, Tej, you good to go? YP? They're good to go.
Yeah.
Crowd countdown from 5, perhaps?
Yeah.
5,
4, 3, 2, 1, go!
We'll try our best to keep up with.
Yeah.
So, the prologue. Perhaps a good time to talk about basic mechanics. So we've got a jump.
They can't dash yet here.
No.
They can't dash yet.
They
also.
can climb up walls, though.
Yeah, yeah. So you just hold the trigger, you can climb a wall, you can jump up the wall as well. You'll run out of stamina if you do too much.
You can also jump on the ground, as you'll see them do here.
Yeah, jumping gives you a slight speed boost. They can put you above your maximum run speed, so they're jumping as much as possible.
All right, so we made it through Prologue with no deaths. That's good.
Yeah. Oh. We should probably mention there's 4 of us on the couch here who are.
Kevin's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Four.
I forgot about that. There's 4 of us on the couch here who are each donating $5 per death. And
Yeah.
You die a lot in this game casually. We'll see. Like a casual playthrough is over 1,000 deaths. We'll see how they do.
And there's one guy in a chair doing that too, actually. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's like an extension of the couch.
So it's 25 per death.
20 per death.
Plus Kevin.
Oh, I don't think all.
All right, so this is gonna blaze by. I think the world record for the IL for this chapter is like a minute and change.
Yeah.
Like 1:00.95 or something.
9-8, I think.
9:8.
Yeah.
Okay, cheers.
You can already see them using the dash very, very well. If you dash diagonal down on the ground, that's called a hyper jump. That gives you a lot of speed. So you'll see them doing that here a lot.
Yeah, and after you hyper, if you wait just a little bit before you jump, you'll regain your dash. So then once you're in the air with all that speed, you have another dash to extend that out. and
Yeah,
really
that breaks pretty much every level in the game.
especially like that room you just saw TGH do there.
Yeah, and then dashing upward next to a wall is, TGH just did. If you dash upward and wall jump, you get a super wall jump, which is basically the equivalent of a hyper jump, but upwards.
And there's quite a few names for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I call it super wall jump, but no one else does.
So then also here, they just did a trick where if you wall jump while you're being clapped over, if you wall jump while you're holding neutral on the analog stick or D-pad, you don't move as far away from the wall. So there's actually a little trick to kind of just scale up a wall by doing that.
Yeah, without expending stamina. It's the important part.
Yeah, there's kind of 3 kinds of wall jumps. There's like a wall jump where you just go straight up while climbing and expend stamina. There is a wall jump where you press against the wall and you kind of jump away from it like this, and you can't really make progress vertically. And then neutrally, you can kind of jump up slowly without expending stamina. So it's a lot of choosing your inputs really carefully, and that was all very intended during the design too. That was a really sick thing. Watch YP's screen right now.
Yeah.
Skipping cutscene from that position in space moves your horizontal position to the middle within the dream block, and skips having to jump up after
Yeah.
that skip
It works
cutscene.
in a lot of cutscenes, but in most of them it just puts you into walls.
Yeah, it can soft lock you. The dream blocks that you dash through them, you can move through them after they're activated.
So coming up, watch Teja's screen here. There is a very precise trick, and he got it. That's a
Nice.
3-pixel window.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's watch YP.
Oh.
That trick used to be a 1-pixel window until we fixed a separate bug where you die at the end of some dream blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
And now it's 3 pixels.
Yeah.
These rooms, they have to hit all the switches to make the gate move while they're being chased by a ghost, which copies all of your actions 3 seconds in the path. Tej is on the final room of the chase here.
Yeah.
YP's not far behind.
Using that secret dev door that they put in because they hate console players.
It's in consoles now.
Well, now.
That secret dev door patched into consoles. Do you want to talk about Ultra's Devil Squirrel? Is it worth doing that now?
Maybe
Yeah.
not now. Maybe when they get to the awake scene.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that whole thing was a dream sequence. Now Tej is just going to run through this awake, and YP's pretty close behind him here.
Yeah, the pretty big meme in the community so far is the task does this awake scene that Tej is in right now and YP in quite a different way than they will do it.
Yeah.
It's because of ultras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, if you do that section with perfect inputs, a lot of like hyper dashes chaining them together, the player speed is uncapped, so you just keep adding to your speed, and the speed you get is ridiculous.
So this is one of the coolest things I really liked about the game.
Ooh.
Coming up to get this key, when you scroll a screen, it gives you your dash back. So normally you'd have to do some wall climbing and jumping around to loop around to get that key. But you can just kind of dash twice to grab it there.
Yeah. Is that used anywhere else in the speedrun?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
Not in the any percent at least.
No.
Oh yeah, it'd be used a lot more in all berries.
It's used in the Oshiro chase at the end of this chapter, actually.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Looping around to get a key, open a door. Yeah, as you can see, they're pretty much skipping the the bulk of a lot of these levels with the hyper jumping.
Yeah, so just to recap on the hyper jump again, basically if you dash and jump from that, you're given a boost of speed forwards in the jump.
Ooh, TGH takes a death.
And we're given more money, too, for those deaths.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you get that boost of speed off the jump. If you wait a bit longer before jumping, you can actually kind of retain or regain your dash as you go into the air.
Yeah, the dash normally, well, it only recharges when you touch the ground.
Right, yeah.
or
So,
certain other
so by doing it very late in the dash, you're kind of, you're both finishing the dash and getting your dash back and getting that speed.
And
boost as
retaining
well.
your momentum, yeah.
So this section here, TGH is in, is just a lot of very careful movement. I think we've got a lot of flack for this room, actually.
Yeah.
It's not particularly speedrun friendly, but
It's kind of, I don't know.
it's important for lore.
Yeah, it's thematically important.
Thematically important. Okay, so very important little speed tech mechanic coming up on TG's screen. A few screens, 3 screens from now, is a spike jump. So the gist is, if there's a wall of spikes and you're moving away from the spikes, you can still jump off of them.
Yeah. Spikes can't kill you if you're moving away from the pointy end of them.
Yeah, you can clap for that. That was pretty sick
It's,
first try.
it's really difficult. Yeah, it's a lot harder than you made it look.
And here's YP now. And he gets it too. There you go.
Yeah, second try is still really good. Yeah, Chapter 3 has a lot of cycles. It's pretty much the only chapter in the game with cycles. So these players just have them memorized, obviously, and they're just making quick work of it. It's kind of mesmerizing to watch.
Yeah, and emphasizing again what Matt mentioned at the very beginning before we began the race, is that every room is deterministic. So
Yeah.
a lot of speedrunning this game is all about just learning exactly how to handle every room the moment you get into it.
One kind of wrinkle, though, is that because the maps are continuous, if you enter a room from the previous room, the cycles will be different than if you die and respawn in the room. So for Chapter 3 particularly, you have to learn the death cycle as well as the entrance cycle if you want backups. Or you can just play flawlessly.
So I missed one thing there on the last button that TGH just pressed. There is something that's kind of a newer mechanic due to a bug fix, and we're just calling it a corner boost, I guess. So there was a bug that really only affected speedrunners, where sometimes you dash at a wall, and upon arriving there, if you're trying to do a climb jump, like kind of up and over, then what would happen is the game would end up jumping away and kind of eat your climb input.
We could tell people didn't like it because the name they gave for it had an expletive in it.
So upon fixing that now, if you dash towards kind of the upper corner edge, then you'll launch over it. This room, endless hypers.
Oh, this is so sweet.
Wonderful, and you keep keys on a respawn as well.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so as soon as he touches the key, hits retry, and gets $20 from the coach.
And here's YP now, same thing. No problem.
Yeah.
So sick.
So now Tej is coming up here to actually fight Ashiro.
Yeah. Or
Run away
avoid
from.
fighting him.
Yeah, the
And
Oshiro fight's really just about very, very good movement.
Yeah, if you played this game casually, it's kind of fun to see like TGH exiting the screen before Oshiro can even attack on a lot of these.
It's great as well. Some of these rooms, the older strat used to be to kill yourself on entry because the death cycle was just easier to deal with.
Right, right.
And it's really nice to see that the route has been developed such that there's no need to kind of jar the run like that.
That was a great Chapter 3. This last room is scary. It's a very long room, so taking a death at the end can set you back. So it's a very stressful room. And YP nailed it.
Nice.
So Golden Ridge, this next chapter that we're into on both players, one very large mechanic is wind, and it's a very hated mechanic, I think, by a lot of players, but I don't think you'll see a lot of difference as far as speed goes. If you know all these like these speed strats and such,
Yeah.
it's kind of negligible. You still need to deal with it, but you're still going quick.
Yeah, this is one of the chapters that's, I would say, most different between speedrunning and casually, because the wind just becomes a non-issue for speedrunners, but casually it's a huge pain.
So this next room for TGH, we'll see a great example of those neutral jumps. We'll scale this wall here, expending no stamina.
It's the wind helping out with the neutral jumps.
Another spike jump here.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, no problem. Another spike jump.
doesn't even blink.
First try.
Here, just a couple of super wall jumps here in a row, like, you
Yeah.
can't even keep up, but there's a lot going on here.
Oh, this room's very important. So,
Said he'd try that once, right?
Yeah.
yeah, one try. So this room, there are auto-scroller kind of rooms like this with this arrow block, but in most cases, it's
Oh.
nice, no problem.
Even the backup is awesome.
Yeah, in most cases, there's usually a way to skip over it or at least make it a bit shorter. TGH was trying something the first time where you don't even need the arrow block. There's two ways of doing it, and I think no one's done it. One of the ways is only TAS,
Yeah.
Not in a run at least.
and the other way is like a 5% chance Tej gave it before the run, so not surprising that it didn't go well.
Yeah, it was 3 backups in a row there.
Another auto-scrollery level on Tej's screen here.
Yeah, and this one can be skipped in the task, but it's
Yeah.
very non-RTA viable.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a optimization there at the end. I love that. Yeah, that's
Oh.
that's just,
That's a gorgeous room. Wow.
yeah.
Oh, a tough death on YP's side.
At the end of the
You're getting ahead of that arrow block there. That used to glitch out pretty hard.
Yeah, that used to. There used to be an arrow, like a bubble clip through that arrow block.
Yeah, I think you went inside of
Yeah,
it.
you
and
go inside and it would snap you at the top of it, and it was.
It was messy.
was
Yeah,
mess.
that's one of the few we've actually fixed.
Oh.
This race is still very close. Like, I think YP's PB for this chapter is actually better than TGH's as well, right?
And YP with tons of room on that bubble skip there. That was great.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, deaths are very fast in this game, so taking a death is not, or 2 deaths is still a good chapter 4. It also depends on what room you die in. The longer rooms, yeah.
Yeah, YP now in the final room. Done, no problem. Hot on TGH's heels.
Yeah, both runners, chapter 5 now.
So chapter 5 has a lot of skips going on. That are I
just
think
a
mostly
couple.
by design.
There's one very big one, and then a couple, like that was a skip right there.
Oh
yeah.
man, I missed that entirely.
Those reverse dashes are really cool.
Normally, for
Oh,
that one,
yeah.
you have to get a bubble from the other side.
yeah, normally you have to go way out of your way to get that.
Yeah, so worth mentioning really fast, Matt mentioned that there's a reverse hyper as well, where you can dash and then change your direction of input and jump at the end of that one instead, and you'll kind of ping pong the other way. And in some cases, you don't have the clearance to dash and also be on a platformable surface still.
Wow, I haven't even seen that one before. Oh! Gets cut in half by the moving platform.
YP does the same.
Yeah,
skip
YP,
there.
same great strat,
Yeah.
skipping that first bubble.
Yeah, and coming up, we'll actually see.
Here's DBS from TGH. He's going for a
Double
corner
bubble
boost
skip.
to skip the bubble. Come on, Tej.
Oh, this is incredibly difficult.
Yeah, this is used as a corner boost as well.
Yeah, if you just barely clip
Yeah.
there, it is.
Yeah.
Oh! If you just barely clip that corner, you can
It's all for
retain your
charity.
speed.
Hey, I need to eat next week, Tej.
Now we're back in the same room now.
Amazing.
YP going for the same skip, opting for the safety instead. YP made up a lot of time there.
Yep.
Some generous attempts from TGH.
Yeah. TJ's shaking his head.
You had to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was calling him. We're about to enter the second half of the temple here. This part has a pretty huge skip. But first there's a kind of weird dream section.
Is now a good time for a donation?
Let's do one quick one.
Yeah,
Sure, Mike.
yeah.
We have $50 from Lena Rain.
Hey, Lena.
Lena. Lena's the composer for Celeste. Made the amazing soundtrack.
It's such a dream to have a game I've worked on played on GDQ. Thanks so much for all the runners and all the fans that have helped Celeste reach so many people. Strawberry pie for all.
Thanks, Lena.
Hi,
Wish you were here.
Yep.
Yeah, I wish you were here.
So I guess coming up this next section, there's a lot of, we call them seekers, I guess internally.
Yeah. They're kind of like
Little
beholders.
friends.
Yeah. They'll chase you. You can, they can activate the switches for you. You see TGH baiting one there. You can bounce on their heads. There's a lot of kind of mechanics with them. Right there, bouncing on one. Yep.
Just got with the
Okay.
explosion there. That's great.
So
It's
when-
right on the edge.
When you jump on them, it doesn't kill them. They respawn a bit later, and they respawn with a shockwave that can activate switches. It can also push Madeline around.
So right now, same thing. That switch is gone.
You might see some tech later in this chapter where they use that explosion.
There's a bit of spaghetti there. It's a touch.
So we're coming up on the second to last chapter, or the sub-chapter of Chapter 5, that has a big skip with one of those reverse hypers.
Yeah, if you've played this part casually, this is way shorter than what you experienced probably.
No problem, first try.
there it is.
Easy. And that skip was by design as well. We actually made it harder.
Yeah. Yeah, Kevin discovered that skip during development.
Yeah, upon our discovery of reverse hypers with the
Yeah.
kind of ping pong jump, upon discovery of that, we made that particular skip possible.
Saves like 2 minutes or something, doesn't
It's
it?
a, it's
Yeah,
a massive
it's
time save in this
ridiculous.
chapter. And now into Crystal Theo.
Yeah. Everyone's favorite.
Yeah,
favorite
Devil Squirrel, want to
sidekick.
explain this, like the movement stuff? I don't even know how to best talk about this.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. I mean, even in the task, it's hard to move around with Theo. He just kind of slows you down. But anytime you pick him up, you get a kind of a little speed boost. And he can activate the switches as you see. And
Yeah. When you're holding him, your max speed is lower, but the speed in this game is actually uncapped. So that only really applies if you were to like run on the ground with him.
It's a great throw here.
Oh.
Very nice.
Yeah.
The TAS actually flies through that spike wall in that current room.
Yeah, it just goes so fast, clips right through the spikes.
Into the final room.
Man, watching this part always just makes me laugh. It's so crazy.
So starting chapter 6
nice.
into Reflection.
YP in the final room as well here.
The YP's right behind. Look at this.
Yeah.
So right away in Reflection, we're going to skip a big opening kind of story sequence and go right to the lake. And there's a pretty massive skip. It's called Lake Skip. It avoids having to go all the way to the right of the screen, get a crush block, bring it back,
A
and
Kevin
go
block.
up that way. And basically what's going to happen is we're going to, it's possible to do a wall boost on spikes at the very bottom corner of an underhang kind of thing. There's a few pixels where you can get the wall boost off the wall. So we're
Yeah.
going to see this right now.
This is a pretty new skip. It's called Lake Skip.
First
There
try,
it
there
is.
we go, no problem.
I saw YP warming up with this one. Let's see. The Kevin blocks. That's Kevin's voice. They sound even better if you can get them to go underwater.
And now Lake Skip from YP. Nails it,
Nice.
there you go.
Nice. Gain some time there.
Some more neutral jumps in Teja's screen now. This skips a large sequence going to the low left first.
And I can't believe how close this is.
Oh no, not quite. Oh, it's so tough. So there you can be thrown, and of course the hyper dashing and such. If you're on something that currently has velocity, it'll throw you farther, like right now. There you
Also
go.
there, TGH climbing up on top of that block to get his dash back, then getting back down, riding it, and then super wall jumping off of it to clear all the gaps.
Was that same throw strat on YP's screen probably? And nails it, no problem.
That room in particular showcases you really have to know what the next room is in this game, because you're setting up your momentum from the previous room to be correct for the next move you're going to do.
One small bit of tech with these pinball bumpers. If you are hitting the side of it, left or right, and upon hitting it, you then input away, you'll get an extra boost. Is that right, Matt?
Yeah.
Something like that?
If you're holding away on the frame you hit it, you
Right.
get more momentum.
And that is used in some places. Like right there, to skip that second pinball bumper.
Yeah. Coming up on the boss fight here. This long feather sequence nails it. A lot of movement for this final section before the boss.
Design shortcuts.
Yeah, these are some of the more obvious ones.
You can thank Matt for those ones. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
You're welcome.
You can also thank Matt for this very, very short water sequence. That's it.
Yeah, originally this whole chapter was a water world.
Oh, no.
So right at the end here, TGH can try and get thrown directly into.
Yeah, this is some of the fastest
boss
speed
room.
you'll see in this run.
Yo!
And directly into the final boss's face.
If you do that too fast and skip, you'll end up in the floor, which is not fun.
Similar to Oshiro's chase, this whole section just very, very about movement.
Yeah. Yeah, when you collide with her, you're thrown backwards, but you get control back pretty quickly, and you get your dash back.
YP starting the fight.
Yeah. If TGH takes the death on one of the longer rooms, this will be even. I love seeing the optimization recently of the downward dashes. That's something that came into the run pretty recently, I think. Just getting that extra little bit of speed. If falling isn't fast enough, you have to dash.
Oh, worth mentioning as well, there's one audio bug that we left in the game. If you listen carefully on this hit, the music goes, "Hey, what?" And if you pause on that frame and retry on the same screen, it will stay that way until you die again. So
Don't tell everyone, Kevin.
Yeah, you're giving away the flaws. Kevin asked us to leave that in.
yeah, I requested that because it'll only ever happen if you're like retrying a room over and over again. So only speedrunners, right?
Yeah,
Little
it's
love.
kind of fun.
Oh, that's a rough death.
That's a
long
costly
room.
one, yeah. No, YP's still a bit behind here.
On YP's screen, cheeky little skip. Very nice.
The final boss room on TGH's screen.
I guess we probably
Oh!
Could have noted those feathers. Actually, you do want to use analog for those, whereas basically everything else in the game, it's just okay to play with the other D-pad or keyboard, because if it's, is it 13 degrees that you want to change?
Yeah.
Or less than 13 degrees?
Yeah, less than 13 degrees per frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically analog sticks give you full 360 control with the feathers.
Yeah, so if you change less than 13 degrees per frame with a feather, you maintain your full speed. So.
Yeah. Yeah, they start slowing. Yeah, you decelerate a bit if you try to turn faster.
YP right behind here. This is so close. All right, into the summit.
Yeah, wow.
And you may have noticed now that Madeline has pink hair, which refers to her having 2 dashes.
Yeah, so for the final chapter, good chapter 6 by YP as well. For the final chapter, both runners have 2 dashes. And it's kind of like a final exam kind of chapter where you go through all the mechanics from the rest of the game, but now you have 2 dashes. So this is the longest chapter, but this is a third of the run, right?
Yeah, basically. The summit is kind of just a culmination of all of the chapters in one.
Yeah. Like the story conflict is really resolved in chapter 6, but then the summit is you basically climb the mountain again. And yeah, it's by far the longest chapter.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's hard to even keep up with everything that's happening. Like, the movement is so cool, though.
There's a great little skip coming up on TG's screen, on the final screen, with the part of you helping out. Right here, see if he gets it. Very nice.
Oh,
He
yeah.
dashes up
And gets up,
diagonally,
yeah.
jumps off that wall on the underhang, and gets through a bit quicker.
Wow, I hadn't even seen that one yet.
I saw it the first time yesterday. Very cool. Oh yeah, so here's a neat thing. You can hyper jump out of dream blocks. You can jump. That's a thing that the game teaches you.
Yeah.
Matt didn't know you could hyper jump out of dream blocks until
I
like half an
learned
hour
that,
ago.
Yeah, I learned that just in the green room. That's cool though. There's a lot of stuff I didn't know.
Yeah, you'll still teach do it here a lot.
Yeah, wow, 3 in a row. That's not easy either.
Ooh.
This little diagonal slip is nice right here. Up to the left.
Yeah,
Through both.
right through both.
Stylish.
Of them. Yeah, it just counts them as one dream block if your hitbox never leaves them. Teaches to the chapter 3 section of the
There's a
summit.
great ultra coming up on this one. How many screens in, Devil? Do you know?
I think it's the 4th screen.
4th screen? You'll know when you see it.
You always know ultra when you see it. By an ultra, we just mean like you hyper jump and then you keep hyper jumping every time you touch the ground and keep adding to your momentum over and over and just pushing your speed cap even higher.
So yeah, here we go. This screen.
Oh, flawless. That's a tough room. So nice.
That was one of the slowest rooms in this chapter not too long ago. Now you barely see it.
Oh, YP takes a costly death.
There's a cool skip on TGH's screen as well. Just you can super wall jump as soon as you enter a screen if you dash from the previous one, and we'll see from YP in a bit here as well. Once he gets to the next section.
This is now TG's favorite room of the game. And he nailed it. Not bad. There's a big skip from Teach here.
Yeah.
Have a look.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We're gonna get on top, hyper through it, keep our dash, dash twice, grab onto that air block,
There
and a
we
wall
go.
boost here. No problem.
Ooh.
The flashy one. Kind of an auto-scrollery room. Get a little skip at the end. You're running with the wind, getting some hypers in to get even more speed. So he just doesn't activate any of those. Why not?
Yeah, they're just there for show.
Yeah. Decoration.
YP going for the same skip right now. Have a look. Tons of clearance.
Yep.
Last bit.
Nice.
Nailed it.
Nice.
Nice.
Smooth.
Well done.
Door skip. Is that what someone said? Door skip.
Door skip coming up.
TGH, they want door skip, my friend.
The most infamous skip.
There's two skips, I guess, in this area that are worth talking about. One's
I mean,
right here.
You could have called that a skip. That was crazy.
You can call everything a skip.
Yeah. Yeah. Normally you have to go down there and do like a little maze that shoots you up through a bubble and then you get that key.
Door skip coming up soon. It's a tight fit here first, though. Nice,
Ooh.
very nice.
That
And
one's
door
also
skip, here we
great.
go. One and
Door skip one.
yeah! And a smile from TGH. Thanks, man.
You know it's a run when you get door skip. TJ's during the final section of the summit. It's not a short one though. YP's almost there as well.
It's not short. There's plenty of room for error. A whole lot of room. YP door skip. Here we go. Yeah!
Both runners got door skip. That means they both won.
Yep.
So this section has many checkpoints, these flags with numbers counting down. Yeah, 30 flags on your way to the top of the mountain. So the checkpoints are really generous here, so deaths won't cost much. But the race is still pretty tight, so
And it is possible to skip a few of the checkpoints. We just saw TGH skip a very
Yeah.
easy one.
it's risky for some of them.
I did see YP in practice skip a checkpoint by accident, actually, and then died during the next gauntlet and had to go back 2 checkpoints. So hopefully not here.
This section has upward wind. Well, actually, YP's in the section with downward wind, which gives you less jump clearance. But TGH is in the upward wind room, which kind of makes you float.
It's a great little jump here on TGH's side from these spikes. Very nice. And a quick section, lots
possible
of...
because of that upward wind.
Exactly, yeah. You couldn't do that. You couldn't do it typically on normal wall.
Not even getting that
Oh,
checkpoint.
skip the checkpoint.
Skip the checkpoint. A little more dangerous.
He makes it. Skipped another one. This one's less risky.
Door.
See him jump from YP right now. Yeah, no problem.
All right, coming up on time on TGH when he
Yeah.
skips this last cutscene.
And time.
Time.
Oh, these last jumps can be so nerve-wracking.
Oh, yeah.
Skips two. Doesn't even care.
He just wanted everyone shouting to look like fools.
I didn't know you could skip 2.
Oh! He had to make up for,
Just for charity, right, YP?
yeah,
For the
he had to
charity.
make up for not dying on Prologue by dying on 1.
Time. Beautiful run. Wow.
You got
Both sub 33.
Standing
in game
ovation,
time.
too. Holy.
Wow.
And death count, we got 20 and 23.
43 yes.
Oh, man. $115 each.
Okay. Amazing run. Both of them sub 33 in game time. Sub 33.
Why?
I'm gonna hand this off to Tej right now, okay?
Hi guys. Not exactly sure what to say. GG, that was a great race. YP, thank you very much. Thank you guys for watching. Those at home as well, those in the crowd. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys so much. We have a truly great community for Celeste. You know, none of this stuff would be possible without everybody's efforts from the community. It has truly been a joint effort on their part and ours as well, but mostly theirs, let's be honest here.
Yeah, special shout outs to Ball Jared for verifying all the runs with me and TGH here all week.
Can we get one more round of applause for the devs as well for making... for making just an absolutely amazing game, an amazing speed game. You guys are amazing, seriously. Anything you want to say?
Shout outs to Ty, please.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Well, that was an incredible race, and we